to the FIM Asia Supermoto Championship 2017 live stream coming at you from Bukit Jalil. We're in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. If you're watching us from elsewhere, it is scorching hot, but this is the most exciting race of the entire championship because we are about to begin Moto 2. This is the final push for all our riders. It's now or never, and we are going to see who will win this year's championship. It's really, really exciting.
Oke, aturan Oman, orang Singapura. Ya.
Well, welcome back to the final race of the 2017 FIM Asia Supermoto Championship here at the National Sporting Complex, Complex Sukan Negara in Stadium Bukit Jalil in Kuala Lumpur. And there we see the point scores. Lewis Cornish, 192, 21 points in front of his main rival, Trakan Tantong. All he's virtually got to do is finish the race, and it's his championship for 2017. Kari Zakaria there in third position, leading away from Malaysia on 156 points with his fellow countryman, Muhammad Habibullah Gabit, there on 109. Then it's Naoto Takayama on 107, who took no part in this race. Takashi Sasaki. Then Hazroy Osman, Pedro Wuna, Li Chimpei, and Sun Tong. Kenneth San Andreas, who's not part of this one. Artem Teslenko on 49 points. Sparan Hendro from Indonesia is not here, and neither is Marcel von Druin. Li Wei is. Then Sang Wei K, Domitata Pratita, and then Faridila Adam, Simon Wilhelmsen with 25 points. And then Nathapat Suksanwatana in last position of 20 points. All the riders that have taken part in this championship in 2017. All the bikes are now on the grid and ready for the last race of the year of the series, and quite possibly the last race of 2017 for any domestic or international major racing event on 2 or 4 wheels anywhere in the world, I'd say, as Christmas beckons in a week's time all around the world. And thank you all for joining us during 2017 with the live streaming that's been brought to you by 23.tv, and also all concerned with the E Plus Global and Asia Supersports Group, the promoters and organisers behind this FIM Asia Supermoto Championship. And if you hadn't joined us for the first race, it's good news to see that the FIM Asia and Asia Supersport Group have signed another long-term deal for the continuation of this championship, which is growing in stature and reputation as each meeting unfolds. And just talking to the guys that are involved in it, which is a real melting pot, a real United Nations of international riders, obviously mainly focusing on the Asian rider scene. It is the FIM Asia Championship, but it is attracting guys from around the world, including the world number 4, the Danish man Simon Vilhelmsen, who took out the race win today in very dramatic circumstances, but also confirmed to me during the break that he is very, very keen to come back. He's quite surprised with the level of professionalism and the level of competition that's in it. He said he had to work for it every bit of the way there in that first race. And first race was dramatic with Vilhelmsen from pole position taking the whole shot and getting the early lead. But we'll go down now to JD on the grid, for she's going to have some words of wisdom from our top riders before the start of this second race.
Okay. Start all over again. Oh, hi. Welcome back. We are at the grid in front. We're waiting for Moto 2 to start. So let's talk to our top 3 riders in their pole positions from the last race. Right now we have Simon in first position. Simon from Denmark. Hi again. Back to number 1.
Yeah, it's perfect. It was a very difficult race, so I'm very happy to be here.
So earlier you fell down for a little bit. There was a bit of a wobble, but then how did you overtake the other riders again?
Yeah, I crashed twice, went down to 4th position, and I just keep pushing. There's a great man in Denmark who always says the race is first finished when the track flag is out, so I just try to keep on working, and lucky for me, Lewis crashed also once, so that could give me the win.
Is there a special trick into overtaking everybody else that we don't know yet?
No, it's just to come in close and you know, let them feel you are there. Then most of the time they give a little space so you can drop on the inside. That's best.
Okay, it's now or never. All the best. Okay, next we're gonna talk to Lewis Cornish. Hopefully he's wearing a shirt right now, because usually he's kind of topless when we want to interview him. You have a shirt on, which is great. Okay, so what happened earlier? What happened with that crash? Tell us.
To be honest with you, I don't really know. I felt like I was doing the same thing, lap in, lap out. I was just trying to keep the gap with Simon steady, and you know, I was coming around. My pit board was keeping me updated. I knew everything was going well, and it was just one of those freak accidents. You know, I don't know if there was a small stone on the track or maybe a little bit of oil down. I don't know what it was, but you know, none of that in this race, and hopefully, you know, me and Simon can just both stay on the bikes and have it out like we should be. Okay,
so you're in second place now. You're only a few seconds behind Simon. How do you feel about Moto 2?
Yeah, I'm ready for it. I feel chilled out, and I know what I've got to do. I know the championship's on the line, but yeah, you know, I'm just going to do my thing, man. What I've done all season's been pretty good, and if I can do that again, there should be no problems.
Okay, all the best. Break a leg. And now... Yeah, we're about to start, so I gotta get out of the way. But on to you, Mark, Brexy.
Some words of wisdom before they head out on track. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, Lewis Cornish isn't going to be riding in his singlet. just got the leathers draped around the waist until the final moment to try and sustain as much energy as possible. Quite surprising. Even Simon Wilhelmsen was surprised about how much he could last the distance. As we have a look on the screen of the layout of this 800 metre track. Start-finish line with a 60-metre dash into the first hairpin before they approach the dirt section with a tabletop jump to start with, and then they do a U-turn before going over a triple and a single. But Wilhelmsen was, after his couple of crashes, was said he was really, really struggling after that second one. Very minor ones, just the first one, he came off the tabletop the wrong way. The back end hit a rut and unsettled him. He said he didn't get a chance to flick it back into line before he landed. And as such, he hit down, got into a bit of a tank slapper and let the front end go. And then about 5 minutes later, he did it at the end of the back straight as he tried to overtake another rider and put it down. But he still managed to come back after Lewis Cornish threw it away and was able to inherit the lead again. So take his first win after his disappointment in Singapore last week, where he didn't finish the race due to mechanical issues. But as I was saying, good news that this championship has been secured a 5-year deal at least with the FIM Asia. Asia Supersport's the main promoters for the series for the next 5 years at least, and also the fact that the Philippines will be back on the calendar for next year. So we look at the grid as the winner and the pole setter as we start our 2 warm-up laps. Simon Wilhelmsen in pole position, Lewis Cornish in second, and rounding out the third position on the front row of the grid is Trakan Tan Tong from Thailand, the man that sits second in the championship. 21 points adrift from Lewis Cornish, and being the inside, he could play a vital part in the outcome of this race in the first 60 metres of it. 20 minutes plus 2 laps. On the second row of the grid in 4th spot, we've got Kairi Zakaria, then Gabit Habibullah, and then Takashi Sasaki rounding out the second row. Then it's Makoto Arai, Naoto Takayama, Hazroy Osman in the 3rd row. Then it's Artem Teslenko, Pedro Wuna, Sun Tong. And then the final row of the grid, the 5th row, Li Wei, Li Jinpei, and Sang Wei Kei as well, the young guy from Hong Kong. So all systems go for the last race of the year in 2017. Who's it going to be? Lewis Cornish has just got to finish in the top 10 basically to take the championship. But as you know, races are races. And once the flag goes or the lights go out, the red mist comes down and anything is possible. I know Wilhelmsen will be wanting to go out with a win and show his superiority. He flies back to Denmark tomorrow night and back to work on Tuesday. As he's a plumber by trade, but he'll be installs heating systems in his hometown of Copenhagen. As get ready for the Christmas break, which is very soon upon us. And they've done their 2 warm-up laps. So it is ready for the final race of 2017 at the 5th round of the FIM Asia Supermoto Championship. The grand finale here at Stadium BUKIT JALIL in Kuala Lumpur. Nerves are building, pulses are racing, blood pressure rising, core temperature rising as well, because my goodness, it's warm out there. But then again, there's a bit of cloud cover has come over in the last half an hour, and the temperature has dropped a bit. There we go, racing, and another great start. And I tell you what, Cornish has been mobbed on the line. He's been absolutely mugged. Maybe it was the nerves of the championship getting to him, but it's Wilhelmsen that has got the whole shot. They're all through the first tabletop over the double. So now they're onto this, well, you'd call it a back curve, actually, a bit of a back straight. Now down hard on the brakes the first time in front of the pits. So in first position Wilhelmsen had a bit of a slide out there, looking to see who that was in 5th and 6th position. But Cornish, what a shocker of a start. It's probably the worst start he's had in about his whole career. Just bogged it on the line. Maybe he didn't have the traction control turned on. But here comes Wilhelmsen to take first lap down. So then it's Zakaria there in first. Gabit in third. Then Takashi in fourth. And Cornish back in 5th position. And who's had another? Is that Wilhelmsen that's had a bit of a whoopsie? He has. He's had a bit of a turnaround. So, and Tantong there in 9th position. So, Zakaria there in first position, leading the way for Malaysia. The two international riders have had an absolute shocker of a start. So Zakaria there in the lead. From in second place, I believe that would be Habit. Yep, the defending champion. Will he go out with a win? The two Malaysians are at the front at this final round. A fitting finale for these guys. Hard fought at it. And I reckon Kyrie's going to make that bike about 15 foot wide as he goes over the tabletop into the hairpin to go back over the last of the dirt section. Oh, gets a bit loose on the exit of the hairpin. Allows Gabit to close up a bit, but Gabit there as they come down into the back straight. They'll be hanging over the fences there. All the Malaysians will be going absolutely ballistic at the two local heroes, first and second. Takashi Sasaki in third position. Lewis Cornish up to 4th position. At the moment, he's got the championship by the short and curlies because he's got Wilhelmsen behind him. And then where we go down to 9th place for Trakan Tantong. Oh, and Gabit is having a good look around the outside of him. Up the inside he tries as they go past our viewing point over the live streaming studio. And joining the fray in 3rd position, Cornish has got the race pace on. Who said he was going to do it a bit easy and just take his time and wrap up the championship? But you know what? He's got the Danish rider right behind him, so it's bragging rights at the moment between the Englishman and the Dane. But Kyrie Zakaria. Oh, and up the inside comes Corey, shuffling back. Oh, and there's been a touch. Gabit comes back at him. Cornish ran it a bit wide, which allowed Gabit up the inside again on the KTM. So we've got a Husqvarna, a KTM and a Husky in the top 3. And then another Husky in top 4 position on the Team Racetech machine. But at the moment, Zakaria starting to eke out a bit of a lead at the moment. He's got the face on. He said he wasn't happy with his race start in the first one. He's surely got this one really pumping it at the moment. A 48.439 for the 4th fastest lap at the moment. So the track has cooled down ever so slightly. So Zakaria there in first position. They come down into the breaking point. Cornish, a big move again. He runs it wide. Habula comes out. Oh, there it goes. Wilhelmsen takes a bit of an effort out of him too. What is this? Cornish, just calm down or else you're going to throw it away. They know you got the nerves going. Happy Bull has been in this position this time last year when he wrapped up the championship in front of Andy McLeish from Australia. But look at this, while they're mugging each other for 2nd, 3rd and 4th, Kyrie Zakaria is getting away into the lead, so he might see another winner in Malaysia of a local rider. Cornish has just got to settle it down at the moment. He doesn't want to get into the street fight that's happening at the moment between these 3 in the battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Trakan Tantong up to 7th position, so he's on the charge as well. There's a yellow flag down. Someone's gone down the outer side at the moment. Just trying to see who it is. But there's Cornish there just chasing Gabit. It is a Japanese rider, Makoto Arai there is crashed, I'd say, on bike number 2. He'll get going again. But as they go storming past the big V450cc machines onto the stops up to 4th gear. Hitting about 130 kilometres an hour. Oh, I tell you what, Zakaria come off that jump completely the wrong way. Now, Cornish has just got to if he starts to get the pressure from Wilhelmsen, he's just got to let him go. Oh, he nearly tagged him. Coming up into the hairpin at the end of the back straight there, right in front of the pits. So Zakaria there in a pretty comfortable lead at the moment, but after we've seen in the first race, anything could happen. In second position, Muhammad Habibullah, the defending champion, the outgoing champion. He's got Lewis Cornish right behind him, and in turn, Simon Wilhelmsen is right behind those guys waiting to pounce. He wants a piece of this pie as well. And the dust starting to make that very slippery on the exit of the dirt section as they come back into the car park. Some of the slower riders already starting to get in the way. And Cornish there, he's just got to settle it down. He's got Sasaki behind Wilhelmsen, and then Makoto Arai there in sixth position. Trakan Tantong, the man that could win the championship, in seventh position. But at the moment, it is Lewis Cornish's 2017 title. Down now with 12 minutes to go, approaching half race distance before they whack on the extra 2 laps at the end. And Garbett looks like he's handling the pressure pretty well that's been thrown at him from both our international riders, being Lewis Cornish and the Danish man Simon Wilhelmsen there in fourth position, in the third rider of this group. Oh, there goes Cornish trying the upside line, but I'll tell you what, I don't want to start mucking about. Well thought out Cornish. He's let Wilhelmsen go through to let attack Garbett now. Now Cornish has just got to settle if he wants to win this championship. Let the others go and fight amongst themselves, fighting over the bones. Wilhelmsen's the racer. Cornish is the racer that wants to think about a championship. But I tell you what, if the rumours are right that I'm hearing, and Wilhelmsen comes back for the entire championship next year, aren't we in for a cracker with a couple of Americans coming on for the show as well? Oh, and Garbett getting a bit loose through that fast left-hand corner, which has allowed Wilhelmsen to get up alongside him almost. I reckon there's going to be a move there. But now Zakaria with over a 2-second lead at the front of this field. He disappears from view on our live timing screens. They come down to complete lap number 9, lap number 10. They did 26 laps this morning. The pace is slightly slower. 47.6 was the fastest time this morning. 48.2 this afternoon as we approach 4:15 local time here in Kuala Lumpur. So there goes Zakaria. But the battle is for second, third and fourth. Well, second and third. Cornish has let discretion play the better part of Valor and settle for fourth position. Oh, they're getting through the lap markers, and Wilhelmsen takes great advantage of that. But Garbett is back in front of him. Runs it a bit wide. The Malaysian versus the Dane. He's certainly known that Habibullah is a world-class rider, remembering that the Dane finished fourth in the Supermoto World Championship this year, has been competing in Germany for a number of years, also in France, very highly competitive over that part of the world. And Garbett is not taking any of it. Reputations, he's just grabbed that bit of paper and ripped it to shreds. And Cornish has got the best view in the house as these two start to brawl each other. Oh, on the front end, he lost it, was the Dane. He just slid out on him, did Simon's bike. So he's dropped off a little bit. So we're down now with 10 minutes to go before the 2-lap board. And look how loose Garbett is getting on that KTM. He's ringing it for all it's worth. And Wilhelmsen is looking for every little bit of advantage, but he's not getting any of it. This is great for the local competition when a guy from number 4 in the world that finished high in the German championships as well is having such a battle to get past the local defending champion, the outgoing FIM Asia Supermoto champion. And they're trying every bit of tarmac. It's pretty hot out there as it is, but they're warming it up a bit further. As now Zakaria now with a lead of just under one. Oh, there's another one down. Garbett's gone down. That section I said was getting dusty and dirty. He's put it down to the ground. So unfortunately, the pressure finally got to him. But I'll tell you what, Wilhelmsen's going to go away with a lot of a different attitude to these local riders. As he said, they might have struggled there, but he certainly had to work for every bit of it, and it was a mistake by Garbett that made it due to the pressure of the Danish man. And look, Cornish hasn't given up the pressure. He's having a big crack on the Kenny Motorsports Tecmo racing machine. And meanwhile, right out the front, Zakaria now with a 3.5 second lead. Where's Strakan? He's up to 5th position. Habit dropped back to 4th. He didn't lose out too much of that. That's a good thing about these bikes. They can pick them up pretty easily, and if they've got electric starts on them as well if they happen to store them. But look at the race pace on Simon Wilhelmsen. He is all over it at the moment. You can just see the body language of him. He's not out there having a Sunday ride and letting the heat affect him. He is on it for all money. And Hazroy Osman gets shuffled out of the way, the Indonesian rider. Pardon me, the Singaporean rider. And there on screen at the moment, we see Zakaria leading away. The first time this year that a Malaysian will win a race if it continues this way. So we're down into the last 7 minutes. And we look to see where Wilhelmsen is at the moment in 2nd position. And he's got Cornish right behind him. A few bike lengths there at the back of the screen. And Gabit has had to settle for 4th position. Takashi Sasaki, Sasayan-san, up to 5th position. That'll be his best finish of the year. It would be finish 6th, which is his best race finish earlier on today. And it's good to see that Lewis Cornish on the Kenny Motorsports Tecmo Racing team is starting to settle down. He knows he would have been getting the pit signals from his father Dave that exactly where Trakan Tantong is. But you try and tell a racer to slow down when they've got the red mist going. But Zakaria, take nothing away from this guy. He came from the 2nd row of the grid. They get a good jump at the start, and no one's been able to get near him. Down into the final 6.5 minutes, plus 2 laps of the 2017 season here at Kuala Lumpur. There's a soccer game, football game going on in the stadium at the moment. Oh, so there it is, Cornish. Wilhelmsen, while we're looking at Zakaria, Wilhelmsen's made a bit of a mistake and Cornish has got into 2nd position. So it's on. Just when we thought Cornish had settled for 3rd, he's had 2nd gifted to him again. And as Wilhelmsen said to me this morning, if we want to start bashing bars, I'm quite happy to start bashing bars. Cornish has just got to think about it. He crashed in the first race. Wilhelmsen had 2 crashes in the first race. Neither of them want to taste the tarmac again. Took a bit of bark off themselves as they come down to complete lap number 17. They did 26 laps this morning, I said, so will they get near it with 5 laps and 2 laps to go at 48, just under 50 seconds a lap. So just looking at it now, Zakaria is a 48.2 his fastest lap. And look at this battle now, the Dane versus the Englishman. It's going back to the Viking battles of old. And the Dane is not having any of it. He knows he can't, the win is out of the question unless Zakaria makes a mistake. But it's 3.1 seconds. And there is just nothing in between the battle for 2nd and 3rd. Between Cornish, this fast section as they come onto the start-finish straight. And just the body language on both of them. You'd think that Cornish would let him go, but he's not having any of it. This could end up in a real street fight in the last couple of laps. As we come, oh, I tell you what, last couple of laps, Wilhelmsen's just gone for the big move there to try and block past him going into that semi-slow corner. Here he comes up the inside. He's got him side by side. Oh, takes his front wheel out a bit there. I tell you what, I don't think Cornish is going to let him get away with it. The blood is boiling as hot as at the tarmac at the moment. So Wilhelmsen, what a move that was. It is a bit of a narrow track. You've got to be committed for it at the moment. But at the moment, Zakaria there leading it with about 3.6 seconds at the moment. Lewis Corney should be very, very sensible just to back it down a bit. His team boss, Kenny Lee, will be over there absolutely going ballistic at the moment. He's got a big contingent of people here as supporters this weekend for the Kenny Motorsports team. And he'll be just saying, just settle it. Don't get too excited. And I can tell by the lap times now that Cornish has calmed it down a bit. He's thought, yep, so much for saying I've just got to finish 10th to win the championship. He really put it on there. So now that 20 laps down, Zakaria nearly cracks a 47 as he puts in his fastest lap of the race the previous lap. He'll be getting the signals out now. It's just under 3.2 seconds that he's pulled out now. So that little bit of a duel that Wilhelmsen and Cornish had slowed them down in that previous lap. But what a move right here in that previous lap that the Danish guy made the move on Cornish to let him know, no, you just settle for the championship, mate. I'm going to go and get as many points as I can. He wanted to have two wins for the day. He's going to have to settle for a first and second unless the young Malaysian rider, Hairi Zakaria, Hairi as he prefers to be called, emblazoned on his number plate and all over his merchandise that he sells, a very popular figure here. And where's his teammate, or his fellow countryman, pardon me? Gabit is in 4th position behind Cornish by a good distance. So Cornish is safe in 3rd position. Trikan Tantong in 5th. He could move into 4th position in front of, no he won't, he's a bit too far off that one as well. But it's Takahashi Sasayan-san that could move into 5th position to really get his best result of the 2017 season. The ex-HRC motocross mechanic. I asked what he does now, and he says, relax and drink a bit. So he enjoys life, that Sasaki-san, that's for sure. So we're getting into the closing minutes of the 2017 season here at Stadium BUKIT JALIL in Kuala Lumpur. And it looks like it's going to be a final glory for Hairi Zakaria to take the win. He's still now with 4 seconds, just under 4 seconds in front of Wilhelmsen, but Wilhelmsen is looking rather focused at the moment. Not that there's much chance that he could take the win, but the 24-year-old Dane is letting people know that he means business when he puts a race helmet on. Jumps on the bike. He's not here just to enjoy the hot weather. As we get down now, he'll get 1 lap in, and then this next time round he'll get the 2 laps to go. So Zakaria there. He's coming through now. He should be, the time will tick down by the time, 27 seconds to go. He's got a bit to go. He should get the last 2 laps board. This one. He doesn't want to slow it down too much. He's going up there. Yep, he'll get the... No, I think he's going to go through again. He'll be over the finish line. Oh, he's going to miss it. He's going to have to put in another... I'm just checking to see if they gave him the 2 lap board then. Yep, they certainly did, but he just got across the line before the actual time had ticked down. But maybe the organisers are taking a bit of sympathy on these guys with the heat that'll be just so oppressive inside that helmet, trying to breathe at the moment. But ladies and gentlemen, get ready for another winner in the 2017 FIM Asia Supermoto Championship with a local hero, Hairi Zakaria, ready to take out his first win of 2017. And in fact, if I look back to last year, I don't think he actually had a win in the 2016 season. That was split pretty evenly between Andy McLeish and Muhammad Habibullah. So there's the last lap board coming out. I'm pretty sure the last lap board's coming out. I can't see from my vantage point, but one thing's for certain, unless he makes a very major mistake, Zakaria is going to be the winner of the final race of the 2017 season. Wilhelmsen there in second position, 4 seconds in front of our soon to be crowned 2017 FIM Asia Supermoto champion Lewis Cornish, the 24-year-old from Norwich in the eastern part of the United Kingdom. So here comes the checkered flag out. He'll put it on the back wheel in celebration, no doubt, does he? Yes, he does. What else would he do to celebrate a win in front of his home crowd? Well done to all. I'm sure he's a popular winner. Kari Zakaria. And it's good to see the sportsmanship. Simon Wilhelmsen comes down to congratulate him. Lewis Cornish finishes third but takes out the championship in 2017 to be the new FIM Asia Supermoto champion. As Trekan Tantong and Zakaria congratulate each other on a splendid season. But what a race that was. Bit of drama there in the battle for second, third and fourth. Garbett looked like he was going to give it a good race, but succumbed to the pressure from the Danish rider. As Kyrie, or Hyrie as he's popularly known, Zakaria, as they come in to congratulate everybody. Well done, Dave. 2017 champion on the Kenny Motorsports Tecmo Racing Husqvarna. Another bit of history in the last race. So it's gone right down to the wire again in 2017, and there'll be plenty of happy people at the moment as they've gone from their signalling area to go back to the pit bays, and hopefully there's a couple of frosty treats being saved for a couple of thirsty people, one of them being Lewis Cornish. Maybe that he's doing the victory lap, and great to see that he's coming back, and he'll be back next year to defend his championship. And I reckon that Simon Wilhelmsen will be coming back to do as many rounds as possible as the burnouts start. Doing the big circle work at the moment. But as they head back to their pits, Cornish does a celebratory mono along the pit straight and a stoppie for good measure at the end. So there's a couple of happy chappies around here, as Barry Sheen would be wanting to say. So great effort all around, great race from all our competitors. And our winner, Heidi Zakaria, taking the win and consolidating his third place in the championship. He wouldn't have closed up enough points to move into second position. But the official results just handed to me from the timekeepers. Zakaria wins by 2.8 seconds from Simon Wilhelmsen on the Team Race Tech machine. Lewis Cornish third. Mohammed Habibullah in fourth position. Trekan Tantong in fifth. Takashi Sasaki in his best finish. Well, won't that be a celebration tonight? In sixth position. Makoto Arai in seventh. Artem Teslenko, the Russian, in eighth. Hazroy Osman, the Singaporean, in ninth. Pedro Werner from Indonesia in 10th. Sun Tong from China in 11th. Lin Chinpei from Taiwan in 12th, with his fellow countryman Li Wei in 13th. And from Hong Kong, Sang Wei Kei. And then in last place after crashing out early on the 6th lap, Naoki Takayama. So what an event that was. What a season it's been. We started in Thailand, then we went in September, went to Indonesia in October, then over to Taiwan at the end of November, Singapore last weekend, and now the grand finale this weekend in Kuala Lumpur at the stadium BUKIT JALIL. So a lot of people to thank, no more so than the FIM Asia Group that have helped and co-promoted this. Asia Super Sports Group, eglobalplus.com. Malaysia Major Events have been the major sponsor of this one. Malaysia Major Events, which is a division of the Malaysian Convention and Exhibition Bureau, an agency under the Ministry of Tourism and Culture Malaysia. Thank you very much for your ongoing support. Hopefully we'll be have a long, successful relationship with them. Good news that we've got another championship signed up for 5 years minimum, 10 years maximum, with a World Championship beckoning as well. They're aiming for that. So, and also the boys from 23.tv, to my co-host JD, thanks again for the year. Also to my absent co-host and commentator Barry Russell, and to all the riders involved. And the provisional points, which I can't see any problems with that. Lewis Cornish takes out the championship on 212 points from Trakan Tantong on 187. Oh, it went close. Zakaria there on 181. Bit of luck, he could have moved into second position. Fourth position, the outgoing champion, Gabet, with 127. Then Takashi Sasaki moving into fifth position on 118, relegating his fellow countryman Naoto Takayama down to sixth position on 113. Hazroy Osman, seventh position on 95. Pedro Wuna, there's just a little bit of noise going over there on Park Ferme. Pedro Wuna on 90 points. Lin Chimpei in ninth position in 76. And rounding out the top 10 from China, Sun Tong on 62 points. Then it was Artem Teslenko on 57. Kenneth San Andreas from the Philippines on 48. He'll be pleased to know that we're going back there next year. Simon Wilhelmsen in 2 races finishes with 47 points and 13th position. Lee Wei 14th. Farman Hendro. Marcel Van Druen in his only race at Thailand finishes in 16th position. Sang Wei Kei. Then it's Makoto Arai, Donny Tata Pratita, and rounding out the 20 competitors, Faridila Adam from Indonesia as well on 27 points. So that brings us to a close of the 2017 season. On behalf of everybody here, I wish you a Merry Christmas, a very safe New Year, and a very prosperous New Year. Hope all your dreams come true, and see you back next year for bigger and better action when the FIM Asia Supermoto Championship explodes into action very soon. See you soon, and all the best.